chopper, and I'm going to teach you how to make a balanced meal in a bowl. Serving for 4, it's called Casey's Basic Chopped. I'm going to teach you how to get out of salad jail and into the chopped life. Okay, so here we go. First thing we need to do is microwave steam some green beans. Okay, it's super simple. Not a lot of preparation when it comes to a chop. All you do is just cut off the end of the, or snap it off, the end of the green bean, and into the bowl. And you only need about a half a cup chopped. Find a really nice little bowl that you like for yourself with a cover. It's microwave safe. Alright, so I'm going to wash these off. When you microwave steam anything, broccoli, asparagus, green beans, they're all actually interchangeable in a chopped. My recipe actually calls for broccoli, but I have green beans in the refrigerator, so that's what I'm going to use today. So green beans in, give them a little swirl, and that's what's going to help steam the green beans. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to give a little bit of flavor enhancement to these green beans by putting some soy sauce on here, okay? And that'll help the steaming process as well. And we'll put the lid on. This takes a minute and a half, okay? So you're not even having to take the time to boil water. I'm going to stick it in here, put it on high for a minute and a half. And now I have my green beans steaming while I'm making the chopped. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some romaine lettuce. I've already washed it. And we're going to do about a cup per person of the greens. Now the greens can be romaine, they can be spinach, kale, arugula. All of these greens are great. We're just going to use some romaine today. We have the green beans out of the microwave, and they're going to cool a little bit before we chop them into the bowl. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop all the vegetables. And we're going to start off with serving for 4, probably around 8 to 10 of these little tomatoes. The tomatoes are great, these little guys, because all you have to do is just whoop, chop through and then chop again, and they're quarter, okay? You want to take your knife and find this little end, because that gives your knife some purchase to cut through. Now we're going to take some green onions, 3. So you'll notice that all the ingredients, there's quite a few ingredients, but it's just chopping. So it's really not a big deal. Just chopping through. Now I suggest you really get down to the chopping board when you chop through these, because otherwise you're going to get little paper doll kind of things going on. So you want them all nicely separated. We are going to take some, we're going to take olives. Easy to work with olives. You just chop through twice, and then I slice through the middle. Okay? Slice, slice, and boom. Chop and drop them. For this one, I just need about 4 or 5 fresh leaves. 4 or 5 fresh leaves. Beautiful, beautiful, fresh, fragrant basil. You can call this julienne or chiffonade or whatever, but just make it really small. That's mise en place. The body can only process so much protein at any given time. 2 to 3 ounces for most people is about it. We're going to slice through this chicken, and like I said, I made this chicken last night, and the recipe's on the website. It's called The Easiest Ever Roasted Chicken, and what you get out of that is some chicken broth that I use to make my rice or my quinoa or my barley for the week. So it's just an extra little added bonus that you get when you make your own chicken. Here we go. Okay, I think the green beans are probably cool enough right now, so we're going to take them and we're just going to line them up on the chopper dropper. And I'm just going to run my knife through them. I did some demonstrations at Gelson's a few months ago, and I made this recipe. And I found out that kids love this stuff. So mom and dad, keep this in mind, that kids will eat vegetables if they're just chopped small. So I call that hiding veggies in plain sight. They see it, they know what they're eating, but they're not afraid of it anymore. Okay? So, right there into the bowl. I'm getting to the most important, I think, unique part of the chopped, and that is the addition of the grain. And I don't use very much because you just don't need very much, but it gives that really hearty bite to a chopped. Brown rice, a half a cup. Again, for 4 people, a half a cup. So it's not a huge amount of calories in it, but it's just enough that makes you feel like you've had something really substantial for dinner. One of the aspects of the chopped is that you're using just basic ingredients. So we have to add a lot of flavor, and that comes from the dressing. So I'm going to start off with my little ramekin here. And most of my recipes, my dressing recipes, start with a tablespoon of olive oil, only a tablespoon of olive oil, and that again is for 4 people. I'm just going to get my aggressions out here and I'm going to smash this little guy. And I'm going to take off the paper. It's not all that difficult to do. Just slice it through. And you do want to get it small, but I'm going to do a technique that I have never seen anybody else do, and that is I'm going to put the olive oil in and the garlic in, and then I put it in the microwave. So it mellows the garlic. Just a tablespoon of olive oil. It's pretty much just to cover the garlic. Here we go. So just enough to cover the garlic. Into the microwave, 15 seconds on high. And that's going to mellow that garlic and infuse the olive oil, and it smells so good. You cannot believe it. Balsamic vinegar, about 2 tablespoons. Now this is where the flavor is coming from. So you want to do that, and balsamic vinegar can sometimes be a little sweet, so I like to temper it and punch it up a little bit with some lemon juice. And what I do is I always quarter my lemons. I just feel like I get a whole lot more. I can get my hand around a real good squeeze. Put your fingers down here so the seeds don't go into the bowl. Ina Garten says it's the worst thing to bite into a lemon seed. I happen to think that there are worse things in life, but that's what she says. So no lemon seeds in our dressing. We're going to put some herbs. I'm going to use some dried oregano today. You can use thyme if you like, if you got that. Salt and pepper. Alrighty, so just a pinch of salt, not too much. And you don't even really need this because there's really a whole lot of flavor in this one, but I always like to season with a little bit of salt. And some freshly ground cracked pepper. Okay, all we got to do is add our oregano. Not very much, maybe a half a teaspoon. Okay, so you don't want to overpower the dressing, but you do want to make it super flavorful because that's what's going to give this whole big bowl of deliciousness its pop. Time to add some cheese. Parmigiano Reggiano. I don't have to use very much cheese. There's going to be less than ½ an ounce in this. All right, we've got everything chopped into the bowl, and now we're time to mix up the dressing a little bit. And I always add it just a little bit at a time because I like to call it more of a coating than a dressing. I always add just a little bit at a time, and then I toss it really well. And I just do that about 2 or 3 or 4 times because you've got so many ingredients in here and you want to get that flavorful dressing all over every piece. Alright, almost done here. And the last little bit. And toss, and toss. And we're coated. You're never going to find any dressing in the bottom of the bowl. It's all over the chopped. And to serve to your lucky family and friends. Now hubby and I have people over all the time, and I serve them a chopped, and they always want to know what chopped we're going to have, and it's always something different, tasty, and delicious. Alright, serving number 1. Now we're going to get 4 pretty good servings out of this. You can always augment some of the veggies, tomatoes, some of the protein you can put a little bit more in, but I always find that you can make them just a little bit more hearty by maybe adding just a little bit more of the cheese. Okay, here we go. And one more time. So you can get Casey's Basic Chopped recipes and a lot of other little basic ingredient goodies on my website at www.thekitchenchopper.com. So get your spoon ready.